Sean, I assume this is kind of the first real developmental time you've had with Gavin. I know it's only 2 days in, but how's he look so far?
I would argue that point. I think his decision to come early was crucial in his development. It shows. I mean, if you look out there and you see him, he looks like an upperclassman physically. He's big, he's strong, he's matured. I think one of the big things in the fall was just encountering all the defenses that you see from a week-to-week basis. So his football IQ is much higher now than it would be like, obviously if he came in January. So, but surely the developmental time, whether it be the bowl season, the short bowl season that we had, and then just the rotation that we're doing right now, the amount of reps that he's getting, he's doing a great job with. And I'm really happy, though, that he made the decision he did, and I think he is, too. It's really, like, paying dividend now. Particularly, I talked to him last night about how his classes are going. Like in the fall, his head was spinning, but he's much more settled in, and you can see that in the way that he's playing.
Sean, everyone wants to talk about Gavin, but not many people like to talk about your first quarterback recruit, Evan Simon. How much has he progressed since he's first been here?
Yeah, I think Evan's done a great job. One of the things that he's progressed in is he certainly knows everything that I'm teaching him. When we talk one-on-one and have a conversation in my office or something, he always regurgitates the coaching point perfectly. There's certainly times in his first 2 years where maybe he didn't execute it the right way, but I think that in his development, we're starting to see those two things to come together. The headiness that he displays in the meeting combined with, the execution on the field, which is, those are two different realities, right? You think that you can teach him like you would in a classroom environment, but it's got to end up on the field, and we're starting to see that.
But you have two receivers, transfers, and Taj and Sean. How have they added new dimensions to the offense?
Yeah, it's great. What's really, really like palpable out here is just there's a ton of energy. I'm sure you guys saw when you are sitting up there in the stands. There's a really like a vibe right now, and obviously somewhat in due part to like some new energy, some new people, and the passion with which they go about their work and the dedication that they have in the weight room and those things. I think there's just a little bit of a buzz right now on the heels of some new faces coming in and some coaches changing hands that I think is really, really cool to see. So I would count them in that company.
I guess, Taj, how important is to get a guy like him who's kind of getting, I know we've talked about like getting the ball down the field more.
Yes.
As an offense.
Sure, yeah. There's a thing that we talk about, and I'm sure Coach maybe has mentioned it at times, is flyover yards. And like, everyone loves like a post ball completed 40-yard down the field or one of these outside verticals that certainly you need guys on the outside that one-on-one can win when it's contested, but what you do when you get the flyover yards is you skip over all those problems, whether it be, we're in the first 2 days of install, so like the snap count and the snap are always like, these things that somewhat lag behind. But you can avoid some of those problems when you do get some of those big plays, and we learned last year that 25-yard plays, they're crucial in winning percentage. So we've got to get more of them, and it's good to have some guys on the outside in one-on-ones today. When I was watching, they were doing a really nice job. So we'd love to keep that going.
Sean, you guys brought in 4 offensive lineman transfers. I know it's only day 2, but how much have they kind of adjusted so far?
Yeah, they've adjusted really well. And what is kind of funny is like with all the new faces, you'd expect there to be almost like I need to get to know this place first. In that room, because of the volume of the guys, they've kind of taken over the room, which is really cool to see. Like that, I would expect someone's individual personality to maybe be dormant for a little while until they get their bearings, but like they've come in and like it's like they've been here forever, and it's really, really cool to see too. So that's speaking about earlier the energy out here. I think the couple guys at the wideout room and the O linemen and the new coaches and getting out here again in some decent weather. It's been great.
Running backs, I know Monongahela was banged up at the end of the year, but how do you kind of think him and Aaron fit it? Obviously, Isaiah moving on, kind of moving to that role.
Yeah. I think at every position, I'm just really eager to see like how these things play out through the spring, and whether it's at running back or wideout or O line. I really have a great trust in the coaches that I'm working with. We've Coach always talks about destination is about direction. And, there are certainly days where you take small steps toward your goal, and there are other days where you take big steps. And I just feel right now that the men that are leading those various position groups they're doing an awesome job. And I'm proud of their work. I'm proud of everyone around here. And I think that when we devote ourselves to teaching and motivating, like the coach says, that's the true mark of a good coach. I think all those guys who are expecting to kind of take on a new role, they'll flourish in whatever we give them, and I'm confident of that.
Last one, guys. I guess I asked you this question last offseason. I'll ask it again. What has to happen for this offense to take the next step?
Yeah,
Year 3.
Sure. I think we need to, at this point in our development, we need to make this offense the Rutgers offense. And, in the first 2 years, you might find, some Princeton-related plays or some Oklahoma State-related plays or some, you name it, Patriot-related plays. But really, at this point in our development, with all the, like I said before, the small steps on our way to where we want to go, the destination we want to go, there's just so much bandwidth that we've created in the first 2 years with some of that trial and error. And I'm super proud of all the things that we've done, but I can't wait. The energy right now, in the building and on the practice field is crazy. So when you have those things kind of like, those are your compass, that really usually starts to take care of business. And I'm excited to see that come out.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.